The Groove Grape is a specialized inn that's typical, and he kind of tells you, yeah, the Groove Grape, I live here too. It's got good places, nice, simple accommodations for all them workers, all us workers. Let me say it like that. It ain't much for adventuring types. The adventuring types go to the other place down there, all posh and whatnot. But saving a buck, gonna have a meal with friends. That's all the good shit.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds absolutely wonderful.
He goes, well, I gotta head on back. Gives you a pat on the back, Ordo. And he goes, I got some work to do. But whatever you're doing, just keep an eye out.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine, tiny human.
Lou Craven, thank you very much for the subscription. And after that, he kind of leaves you off. He makes a gesture, just like, keep an eye out.
Did you just do it?
Yeah, I did just do it. For everyone watching, I just did the whole thing. Ordo, as you enter the inn, you find their accommodations to be very simple and effective. And in fact, the stays are only a couple of copper a night. Let's just do this and let's just get you guys together immediately. As you start coming back to your inn, you see something that you're very not used to. You see a large 7-foot man, kind of like scrunching a tall 7-foot Loxodon, kind of crouching down and kind of like, oh, gotta make sure I don't bump my head on the roof here, or on the doorway here. Like, you can see his ears kind of like barely touch the top of the roof, but there's this massive 7-foot tall dude just kind of like in front of you and kind of in your way as you're trying to get back into your inn and back into your room. What do you do?
I'm gonna stealthily slide by him.
Give me a stealth roll. And Neville, please tell me what your passive perception is. Which should be a 10 plus your wisdom modifier. Unless you have proficiency, in which case add that too.
I got a 13.
Oh boy.
Baby, that is a 14.
Wiggs, your concept of stealthy was putting your hand like on his leg, kind of like pushing him a little bit, but not too hard, and trying to like squish by him, kind of like sidle through. Ordo, you feel this person just kind of like touching your leg and pushing you a little bit as you're kind of trying to get through this doorway. What do you do, Ordo?
Well, hello there, little one. He refers to everyone as little one.
He's 7 feet tall!
I'm only 5'11", so I'm definitely much shorter. I'm going in the inn.
All right. I mean, be my guest. I apologize if I was in your way. I meant no disrespect.
No, it's good. I just avoid people. So I was just walking on by.
Is it because of my size?
No, I just avoid people.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not a... When you say people, do you mean humans? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but I am not a human. I am a Loxodon.
I've definitely noticed.
Well,
By people, I mean humanoid species.
Oh, all right. I apologize. I'm not used to your folk. So I don't know. What do I do?
Do you know anything about the stone?
I'm sorry?
Do you know anything about the stone?
I do not. No.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up and hug the fence that's protecting the stone.
Yeah.
Ordo also follows and tries to hug the fence.
You guys put your arms around one of the poles of the fence, and like,
yes,
maybe you haven't been hugged in a while, but it feels good.
Yes, this is what I wanted.
Yeah, it feels good. You're hugging a piece of wood, but every once in a while that this will be fun. All right, let's skip this one real quick. Annalisa, your parents a couple of days ago told you something that you're both dreading and possibly secretly excited about just a little bit. You're having a visitor coming towards the estate soon, probably for the next few days. Some people you know by the name of Lanu Chillin and Tucker Sparrows. They have visited a few times before, but you now are kind of in your manner doing whatever it is you do. What are you doing, Annalisa?
Annalisa she's sort of pacing back and forth, kind of like with that energy, and she's sort of like looking at the door, and she's just like, they're taking forever. Leave it to that professor to take his time, honestly. And she just sort of is like muttering to herself, like crossing her arms, like, I can't believe they're wasting our time. But not leaving that door, not doing anything else, kind of like peeking out, like, are they here yet? And then when they're not here, huffing and being like,
This is perfect. As you kind of peek out of the door one time, you see that strange elven woman who you've seen a few times before. She just kind of wanders the town, and while your father and mother have not said anything bad about her, obviously some of the townsfolk have been like, oh, she must be a beggar. Like, what's happening here? But you also see this strange woman, and you see a Luxodon who you've never seen before, who towers you, to the best of your knowledge. And they're hugging the wooden fence that protects your family's obelisk. What do you do?
she sees that, and just this, like, confused, mildly appalled expression just crosses her face, kind of just like, what am I looking at?
Ordo starts kind of like nuzzling, like rubbing his head against it, like almost like a cat would lovingly.
I will say this: it's like at a fence. Let me paint you a picture. It's a fence that's essentially the size of like what a normal fence would be for a human, but for a halfling. So it's probably like half the size. It's not maybe a little larger than like a halfling's midsection. Are you bending down to rub your face on this fence?
Ooh, I didn't think
Or
about
on your
this part.
knees.
Or are you on your knees? That's a good question.
Yeah, I'd say Ordo has knelt down because
Okay.
he realizes that he might fall over the fence otherwise.
You've knelt down and you're hugging. So you see once again this very odd scene. But yeah, what does Annalisa do besides look appalled?
It's like appalled and like more confusion.
Okay.
And then, like, after a moment of processing this, she probably dashes out. Because either A, these are snoopers who do not belong here, or B, this is part of the professor's group and she needs to find out what the hell is going on. Either way.
Think about it as gratitude. This is my form of showing gratitude.
Well, if you insist. You are a strange folk here.
And she goes, well, we're going to be headed back in. We're waiting for a professor ourselves. Just make sure to be here around 6 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Will do.
And she goes, oh, and if you do want to know the culture, some people just give a simple nod or prayer to the obelisk rather than hugging the fence. She kind of goes like, just so you know. And then she walks back into the manor. And she goes, Annalisa, make sure to be here before 5. She's kind of giving you room to do what you want, Annalisa.
Right. Annalisa nods and goes, yes, mother. And then she kind
that
of
is
like,
your mother.
Annalisa kind of looks at her and is like, well, yes, can't you see the family resemblance?
There is quite a family resemblance, and she did introduce herself by saying, I'm sorry if my daughter caused you any trouble.
I apologize. I thought you were talking about this one, and I point over to Wiggs.
Annalisa looks... I'm sure you can imagine how she looks. I won't attempt to describe it.
She looks aghast.
Not even a guess, just like whatever the physical manifestation of is. That's how you hear.
Order said all short people look the same.
No,
Even when I was
everybody shorter than me looks the
insane.
same.
Even when there's 2 feet of difference between them, easily.
I'm gonna be
You
right
know,
back. I
when
need
you're-
to do my AC real quick. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Got it. You know, when you're as large as I am, everybody is just looks equally small. All right. I partake occasionally, but I am simply on my own journey and happen to pass by this village on my way on my travels.
Like a pilgrimage.
Sort of, yes. Actually, I wish to find myself again. And as he says it, Ordo just like looks off in the distance, like it's a dramatic cutaway from a movie.
He looks into the middle distance.
Tucker's gonna look at him and say, "Well, I gotta tell you, buddy, you're not that hard to spot."
Oof.
Is it because of my large stature? You see, he just does not register jokes. Like he's just right over his head, which is a very large. Like that is a massive height to get over, but jokes still fly over his head.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, you're real big, and you've got the nose, the ears. It's really cool."
Is there something wrong with my nose and my ears?
No, it's amazing. Can you like
Oh.
grab stuff with it?
Not with my ears. That would be ridiculous. But with my nose, I guess I can grab things with my nose, as you say. Yes.
That's really cool. That must come really handy.
Yes, it's quite useful.
Oh god, the dad jokes are with fucking Tucker. Jesus Christ.
I like you. My name's Tuck, by the way.
Well, hello, Tuck. I am Ordo Broken Tusk. And then once again looks off in the distance.
Tucker's gonna look at that and go, "So you're a man of the cloth, huh?"
Well, Ordo looks down at his chainmail and goes, not particularly, no.
That's a fair point.
Tucker is gonna roll his eyes and he's going to say, "I mean that that you follow a religion."
Oh, I used to be, yes. I used to be.
You're still
Yeah.
wearing your holy symbol.
Well, I understand how it might cause confusion, yes. And just ends it right there. Does not elaborate at all.
We've only appeared maybe a couple weeks ago, so we haven't had enough time to do a proper investigation ourselves.
When I arrived, a very silly man who escorted me to town, he mentioned a very strange woman around. Could this be and he seemed very concerned about my well-being. Could this be related to her? And do you know anything of this strange woman?
They both look at Wiggs,
Ordo does not recognize.
and they both look at Ordo, and Serafina goes, well, we have recently had a new elven woman going around town who seems to have been a little panicked, I should say, but she seems to be fine now, as she is currently sitting next to you.
Who all am I sitting next? Who all is next?
Yeah,
to me?
what's the order of this
Okay,
table?
fair enough.
Yeah.
Perrin, Serafina. I forgot Annalisa's name for a second. Annalisa. I will say then, just to prevent too much from happening, Lanu, then Tucker. After that, it's going to be Wiggs, Ordo, and then Perrin.
Okay, cool. So Ordo looks over at Perrin and is like, Are you the elf? Who are Just like not realizing that they were talking about wigs.
Yeah, we're clear about that. Yes.
Yeah, in case that wasn't obvious.
Parent kind of goes, no, I'm I'm a halfling, and the woman next to you on your right, and he goes on your right, kind of leans a little bit forward and kind of like points.
Or looks over.
She's the elf.
Ah. Wait, so do you know who the strange woman is?
Tuck is gonna pipe in, and then he's to be like, Ordo, it's her. Tucker kind of thinks for a minute. Then he sort of skulks into the shadows, and he's going to attempt to stalk again and into their conversation.
Okay, give me a
himself
stealth roll.
known.
Once again, Ordo, Ordo's passive perception is 14. Wiggs, please give me a perception roll as you look behind your shoulders at all times. Now knowing people have been talking about you.
I definitely thought this was happening right in front of Ordo and Wiggs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking too. That's the best part.
Oh, well, maybe it works out.
21.
I got a 10.
So Tucker, you skulk into the shadows, and it's just like everyone's watching you. You just kind of like Batman into the shadows a little bit. You're standing in a shadow, just watching.
Tucker stands very still.
Lando just gives you a thumbs up and heads towards his room, and goes to Ordo and Wiggs. I do hope that he is not much of an issue. It will be his first it'll be his first mission without me. So I do implore you take good care of him. And
I will.
He goes, thank you, and he starts heading back to his hotel. Kid, come here. Let me tell you something about the slimes, yeah?
Tucker leans in close.
The slimes are controlled by a slime mancer.
A slime. What's a slime mancer?
So, you've heard of necromancers, right?
Yeah, people who bring stuff back from the dead.
Exactly. This is a slime mancer. I've seen her walking around the area. She just kind of like looks around all scared, and then hides around. She's bringing the slimes here. I can feel it.
I love this guy.
You have to be careful. You have to watch your surroundings.
Tucker is going to raise his brow and he say, right, does she happen to look like, and he's going to give a description of Wiggs.
You already know the threat, kid. You have to be careful out there, he goes. And he kind of goes, these people, slime mancers. And you see the half-orc just kind of like, oh, not this again. He kind of goes, you see these people, they take slimes and they slowly make them corrupt you until you become a slime yourself.
Right.
This guy here, he kind of passed the half-orc's shoulder. He goes, he almost became a slime. I started seeing his skin turn purple and blue the moment the slime hit him. And the guy goes, that was a bruise/burn. He goes, he was turning into a slime.
What's your name, sir?
Fuck.
That's a weird name.
Slime Man.
Fantasy name generator and PDF doc. Put
I
all
love name generator.
And not too much longer later, you see Annalisa Goodbarrel walking in, decked out in what seems to definitely be a lot more adventure gear. She's not wearing the. Are you wearing this dress actually?
I feel like she's still wearing a dress. It's
Gotcha.
probably not one of her nicer ones, but it's probably still not perfect adventure gear.
It's above common or below noble.
Yes. She's dressed more for she knows that she's going to be traveling in rougher lands, but she doesn't know what that means. So so she hasn't broken out her finest, but she's broken out her fine. And she's got her good old great axe strapped to her back.
You guys see Annalisa coming in what seems to be a pretty decent dress and a big old great axe on her back, just kind of slumped over there, ready to spring into action, shall we say.
Well, she got a 10, so...
Annalisa, you get to go first. The slime is kind of just wandering around, doesn't even seem to notice you at first. But you now have your great axe out, just stalking it from behind. You easily get within 5 feet. What do you want to do?
Annalisa is gonna go ahead and attack it with her great axe.
Roll to hit.
Alright, that's a 15.
Yeah, that hits a little bit.
Alright, where's my D12?
Oh shit, you do a D12 of damage.
Okay,
Golly gee.
so that's 11 plus 3, that's 14 damage.
Just right, that's
You
fine.
could immediately
That's
tell
fine.
that your damage doesn't do as much. Your attack doesn't do as much as it probably should.
Yeah, it's slashing damage. I forgot to mention you.
Yeah, your attack doesn't do as much as it probably should. But you kind of like go through it, and like at first, just like, wait, why is it not dead? Then you kind of like move your axe, like swish, 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 and they kind of spews the slime out a little bit. The slime does not seem to reform as you do attack it, but you do get some like on your axe and on the few plants nearby. After it burns, the slime just kind of falls harmlessly to the ground, and just you eviscerated the poor thing. Even though
Is
it
on
has
her dress? Is it on her dress?
Let me roll for that. It is not on your dress, no.
Alright. And Lisa goes, and that takes care of that.
First and foremost, a big thank you to Katie, Kelly, Noelle, and Neville. They are 4 fantastic role players who play D&D amazingly well, and I enjoy every moment with them. And they're joining me on one of my favorite projects on the entire channel, so big thank you to them. And a big thank you to you guys for actually listening on in, having fun with us, interacting via the chat, and just joining me on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and follow me over on Twitch for more fun. I cannot wait to do more of this. I'll see you guys soon. Stay Botanist Cool.